What's up, everybody? Did anyone go see the movie Sounds of Freedom? I'm going to check it out tomorrow, but man, the stuff I'm seeing on the internet, it's going to be a very powerful movie. You know what? Let's just get into it. Y'all got to check it out. If you ain't seen it, here's the trailer. Check it out.
How'd that make you feel? Giving a child his freedom. Felt good. You have been at this for 12 years. My country, 'tis of thee. Why are you doing it? Because God's children are not for sale. It is the fastest growing international crime network that the world has ever seen.
For Homeland Security, you know we can't go off rescuing Honduran kids in Colombia.
This job tears you to pieces. And this is my one chance to put those pieces back together.
And yet somehow you have failed to bring me one real-world lead.
It's over, Tim. Close up and come back home.
So you quit your job and you go and rescue those kids.
South of that river is all rebel territory. No one goes in. And if this is your daughter, so she's gone. Hear that? That's the sound of freedom.
Sound of Freedom is one of those films that can legitimately change this world. So we want to ignite a fire in audiences and open their eyes to the dark reality of millions of children that need our help. Let's make this film a historic event and the start, the end of child trafficking. Theaters across this country are already selling out. Pre-order your tickets today, and you can send the message that God's children are no longer for sale.
That's right, folks. It's what the title says. Our children is not for sale. It's not. We be worrying about everything else around the world. And trust me, it is a lot of news out here. I mean, I don't understand it, but it's a lot of news from Ukraine, from the FBI director. But we're not going to talk about that tonight. We're not going to talk about C-19, the invisible enemy, the Mick Jaggers. Not tonight. We're going to talk about this $150 billion industry trafficking little kids. Child sex trafficking. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. I'm not going to do too much talking because there's too many videos I want to show tonight or today or whenever you're watching this. This is not a joke. And I'm so pissed that we have let it even get this fall. I mean, it just gotten ridiculous. With all the problems in the world and even my personal life, all the problems, and I'm sitting here worrying about this type of stuff that shouldn't be even going on. And let me tell you something, within the last 3 years, child sex trafficking has just went through the roof. Our southern border, wide open, many children. Many children have been abducted in the United States right now. And I think you know where they are. They disappeared. Now, I'm not going to get too graphic and not too gruesome. Not all children goes into child sex trafficking. You know what? Actually, all of them do. And some of them wind up dead. I'm not going to even talk about organ harvesting. I'm not going to even talk about that. Because some of y'all not ready to hear that. $150 billion industry. Bigger than the cocaine industry. Drug industry. Hell. Porn. Shit gotta stop, man. But anyway, I got something else for you. Greg Reese. He got his take on it. I think we should listen to what he got to say. What do you think? I think we should. Let's get into this Greg Reese report from the Reese Report, Infowars.com or band.com, band.video, excuse my French. Let's get to it.
The Sound of Freedom was completed 5 years ago, but Disney fought them in the courts to keep it from being released. Hollywood employs several convicted pedophiles, and mostly at Disney and Nickelodeon, who specialize in children's programming and have even rehired pedophiles after they've served light sentences for raping child actors. Hollywood has been abusing children since its inception, including child actors of the 1930s such as Shirley Temple, Mickey Rooney, and Judy Garland, who wrote that she was constantly molested behind the scenes by powerful men, including MGM co-founder Louis B. Mayer. And nothing has stopped Hollywood from continuing this horrific abuse. It has been known for decades that governments have systemically abused children. Beginning in the 1960s, the German government began placing thousands of foster children into the homes of single pedophiles and continued doing it up until the 1990s. Thousands of Catholic priests have been accused of raping children, and no justice has ever come of it. Jeffrey Epstein was targeting individuals and recording them raping children as a form of blackmail so that powerful entities could control them. Epstein has disappeared, and so has his little black book. Many have claimed that Hugh Hefner was doing the same thing for the CIA that Epstein was doing. In 1976, Hefner's Playboy magazine published erotic nude pictures of a 10-year-old girl, and nobody seemed to care. The effects on these children can often be fatal, whether it's from blunt trauma or suicide, and those who survive most often struggle with it for their entire life.
To me, sexual abuse, it kills a child. I think it kills the spirit of a child. I think it kills normalcy in a child. So I just have spent a great deal of my life, walking around really as a dead person in a sense, because I almost feel like I was murdered.
Child abuse has been used as a form of trauma-based mind control because it often forces the child to disassociate, which has been known to create multiple personalities. MKUltra whistleblower Kathy O'Brien came from a family of multi-generational child abuse that sold her to the U.S. government.
I developed a compartment in my brain, a little area behind amnesic barriers that was actually the neuron pathway shutting down in my brain in order to compartmentalize the memory of the abuse so that the rest of my mind could function normally as though nothing had happened.
My father's sexual abuse expanded into child pornography, and he was sending this child pornography of me through the U.S. mails. And he was caught. The pornography was confiscated by a criminal faction of our government. The local politician approached my father and told him that he would receive immunity from prosecution if he would sell me into the CIA's MKUltra Project Monarch.
Some families practice incest and pedophilia to gain power and to maintain it. Inbred Jacob Rothschild explains it here while reading a quote from his inbred relative, James Rothschild.
In our family, we've always tried to keep love in the family. In this sense, it was more or less understood since childhood that children would never think of marrying outside the family, so that our fortune would never leave it. You couldn't write that today.
Our entire system is profiting from child slavery, about $10 billion a year in the U.S. alone, and our entire government seems to be involved. Congress has paid millions of our tax dollars to cover up their sex abuse crimes. Thousands of children are being trafficked across our southern border. And now it's become trendy to castrate children and turn them into a so-called transgender. And if we, the people, don't do something about this, then the blossoming surveillance state will have a solution. Don't be surprised if our children are soon monitored 24/7 under the guise of keeping them safe because we have failed to do so. While we cannot expect to rid the earth of all evil, something obviously needs to be done. Reporting for InfoWars, this is Greg Reese.
Yeah. Yeah. You see that? I don't know if y'all heard about what happened in California just a couple of days ago. They was trying to pass a law to arrest pedophiles, for life, basically. And everybody in California, all the legislative representatives or whatever, voted to strike that bill down, except 2 Republicans. All the Democrats said, no, we don't need no harsher punishment for the crimes of pedophiles, pedos. Think about that for a minute. I don't know what the hell is going on with a person's mind to even strike down that law, won't let it pass unless you're doing it yourself, unless you into that type of stuff. 2 Republicans voted to say, no, pass this law to give harsher punishment to pedophiles and pedos and all that stuff. Think about that for a minute. Think about that long and hard. But I will admit, though, because of the pressure from citizens and social media and certain journalists, within 24 hours, they turn around and say, oh, okay, we're going to vote for it. But then again, you wouldn't vote for it. But because of the pressure, y'all stink asses decided to vote for it. It doesn't change anything. What's going on in y'all minds? Really? So that means that y'all got some kind of fetish? It's disgusting. It is so disgusting. Just thinking about it. Y'all nasty. God's watching. God is watching. I guess y'all don't believe in God. Y'all think this is a game. Mm-mm-mm. You know, in every civilization, I don't know if y'all know this, but in every civilization, when you start messing with the children, when you start sacrificing children, that society collapses. It gets destroyed. Sodom and Gomorrah. The Aztecs, not ass, but Aztecs. Is it right? Aztec or Aztec? You know what I'm saying. Aztecs. What the hell they at? Can someone please tell me what the hell is the Aztecs, huh? Huh? I'm listening. Hmm? What's that movie that came out with Mel Gibson? Um about the about how them Aztecs was sacrificing children, sacrificing people, period. Apocalypto. That's it. Great movie by Mel Gibson. Apocalypto. And matter of fact, Mel Gibson has a lot to do with Sounds of Freedom. Jim Caviezel, he did such a good job. From what I see in the in the trailers, and looking at the interviews with him, I can't wait to go watch this tomorrow. First thing in the morning. Hopefully it ain't gonna be too crowded early in the morning. People always say to me, Don, you need to stop being so overprotective over your children. You need to stop, let him be free. Let him walk. Let him go over there. Let him walk. Let him go get some milk while you be in the car. What? Why be in the car? What? What you say now? When you got pedophiles out here doing God knows what, and very good at disappearing your child. I don't know if you guys ever drove through Atlanta, especially around about 7:30 in the morning, or better yet, 3 o'clock in the evening. I do wonder about some of y'all parents. I have to admit, y'all have me shaking my head, scratching my head. You know, I got fractions all around my head in the cloud, figuring out why y'all let y'all kids. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. Why do y'all let y'all kids 7:30 in the morning? No, early in the morning. I'm just gonna say that early in the morning, walking by themselves, just walking by themselves with their book bags, going to the bus stop. The bus stop might be 2 blocks down, maybe 4 blocks down. Do you understand what can happen in a 2, 3, 4 block radius when you ain't there? I might let you slide if you just stand, on the edge of the curve and watch them walk down, but y'all know where to be found, parents. I'm not calling out who it is. I'm not saying nothing, but I'm just saying I see it every morning, every evening. I mean, and then y'all be on Channel 2 News boo-hooing, crying, teeing, just like the Tin Man and Wizard of Oz. A tea, my baby, he's missing a tea. I mean, it's just like, okay, what were you? I gotta go to work. I can't be I gotta go to work. I gotta pay the bills. I got that. But kids come first, man. I mean, if you understood half the stuff that goes on when these folks be kidnapping children, it's not about just kidnapping them and just killing them straight out. No, they probably ship that child to Ukraine for testing in those biolabs. Yep, I said it. I said it. They could be shipped to Mexico or Honduras or Colombia for child sex trafficking, grooming them. Could be sending them all anywhere around this world. You'll never see them again. Or they kill them to put them in a ritual. Yes, I said it. To put them in a satanic ritual. Your child is cut up. And that does go on. And if you don't believe me, maybe you need to look up adrenochrome. Maybe you do need to look that up. Maybe you do need to look up the other word they use. It's called ambrosia. But then again, you might get the Food Channel, the Food Network. So therefore, you probably won't find it up on ambrosia. But you will find it up on adrenochrome. I just don't get it, man. They got so much in store for us. And here we got to protect our children even more than the norm. And don't get me wrong, this has been going on for a minute. Business got real slow around about, 2016, 2018. Business was slow as hell. I'm going to say 2019. Business got slow as hell. Now it is wide open. Why is that? Why is that? I bet you can't tell me that. Why is that? Southern border? Ringing the bell? Does it ring a bell? How about that law he just passed, Mr. Joe Biden? What's that law he just passed that you cannot DNA test a child coming across the border? Border Patrol cannot DNA test. They can't get no kind of fingerprints or any kind of identification for these kids. You think that's cool? Why would he do that? Answer that question, Lefty Lucy. Answer that question, liberal. Oh, okay, for the slow people. Answer that question, Democrats. I will never be a fucking Democrat ever again. Ever. I fell for the okie doke for 20 years. Not anymore. You know what? I'm talking too much, man. Let's go into this Darren McBreen video. Because what I found out in the last week or so, since the movie been out, you got people sabotaging the movie. You got people just doing all kind of lame shit so people would not enjoy this movie. Basically, you can't really enjoy it because it's all facts, but they just doing just ghetto stuff so that you would not enjoy the movie, from turning down the volume, freezing it, pulling the fire alarm, all of that stuff. We don't do y'all movies like that. How about that? But some stuff come out that people need to know you do this stuff. That's evil. I know it's all about good versus evil now. It's a war. It's a war for your mind. Now I get it when Alex Jones keeps saying that. Now I get it when Owen Schroyer keeps saying that. It's a war for your mind. It's a war for you. I get it now. I get it. Anyway, let's get into it.
You thought the deviant left couldn't possibly sink any lower. There are now widespread reports of movie theaters purposely sabotaging the sound of freedom. Here's what's going on. The internet is being flooded right now with testimonies from people who are having a bad movie experience while trying to watch the anti-child trafficking thriller Sound of Freedom. All kinds of interruptions, distractions, and just plain bizarre occurrences in movie theaters all over the country. Everything from fire alarms going off, there's AC units that are not working properly, the volume turned all the way down, even the movie pausing in the middle of it, like somebody actually hitting the pause button. And there's other reports of the movie fast forwarding, like somebody's hitting the fast forward button. So totally bizarre. And there's also reports of people looking online where it says the movie is totally sold out, but then they get to the movie theater and there's hardly anybody there. So very strange, and way too many occurrences for all of this to be just a coincidence. Like I said, there's numerous reports of these things happening all over the country the past couple of days. Now, the CEO of AMC Theaters has responded to the negative feedback. They're saying that it's all conspiracy theory, that this is misinformation on TikTok and Twitter, and they want to put the ridiculous conspiracy theory to bed. They're saying stuff happens. Bulbs break, AC units go out, sometimes the volume levels aren't set right, etc. And I'm sure in some of these instances, they're right. Shit happens. But this is way too much to ignore. And like I said, this is happening all over the country right now, and we're getting reports from everywhere. Heavyweight champion boxer David Nino Rodriguez, he said he went to the movie and he had a horrible experience, and he believes that theaters are making the viewing experience uncomfortable on purpose. And these are the kind of reports that are coming in right now. Here's what I think is going on and what's not going on. I don't believe that this is a case of woke corporate movie theaters sabotaging the movie. I mean, this isn't Target selling satanic gay merchandise to children, or this is not like the infamous tranny Bud Light implosion. Those corporations sabotage themselves in the name of wokeism. Now, if anything, AMC Theaters, we should applaud them for showing this movie. Thank you, AMC Movie Theaters, for showing this. I mean, this might be the most important film you'll ever see. So we should all applaud these movie theaters for showing The Sound of Freedom. I think this is a case of random woke libtards who work at some of these movie theaters, and they believe the Mockingbird media's narrative that Sound of Freedom is like a QAnon conspiracy theory movie for Trump supporters. They're the ones who are individually acting alone and sabotaging the movie. And I think AMC Theaters, they need to look into this more closely, find out who's behind it, find out who's doing this, and fire these people. Get rid of them all immediately. And if any of you out there, if you know who any of these people are, my advice to you is don't let these people anywhere near your children.
Yep. Facts. He's got a point. Why would you sit there and sabotage a movie? Who would do something like that? Who? I can't think of nobody. Do you know anybody that does stuff like this? It's crazy. It's crazy. Just to make you think, though. I mean, what did God say? The book of Psalms. Psalms 82, verse 3 through 4. What did it say? You don't know, do you? Let me help you. Give justice to the weak and the fatherless. Maintain the right of the afflicted and the destitute. Rescue the weak and the needy. Deliver them. Let's read it together again. Psalms. Give justice to the weak and the fatherless. Maintain the right of the afflicted and the destitute. Rescue the weak and the needy. Deliver them. That's powerful. That is real powerful. Every night before I go to bed, I just have to look at my kids, you know. I look at them, especially when they sleep. And I ask myself what the future may hold for them if we're not blown up in a nuclear war with Russia because of some BS in Ukraine that has nothing to do with us. But they're making it a problem for us. You can thank Sleepy Joe, Biden, Obama. Yes, Obama is still in office. In the shadows, behind the curtain. He's the one controlling Joe Biden, if you want my opinion. Yep. Let's get into another scripture. I got it right here. I typed it in. Let me see, which one is it? How about this one? Matthew 18. Whoever causes one of these little ones who believe in me to sin, then it would be better for him to have a great milestone fastened around his neck and thrown into the sea. Think about that for a minute. You ever ask yourself, when a parent loses his child or their children to CPS, Child Protective Service, you just think they go into a hotel or a facility and they're going to take care of them? Not all are that lucky. You think they're going to get adopted into a better family? Not all are lucky. I'm not going to sit here and post up articles after articles tonight or today whenever you watch this. But if you was to Google search yourself of children that have been adopted, and majority of the families that adopt these children are being abused. They've been hurt. They've been killed. You've seen it. It don't make no damn business for anybody, two women who so-called love each other, to adopt. No. Two men to adopt? No. That right there is a sin. Deuteronomy, Sodom and Gomorrah. It's not right, folks. Transgender, all this stuff. Do you understand what Klaus Schwab got in store for you? The New World Order, globalism, pushing this transhumanism crap. And what's the first 5 letters, TRAN? Well, you know, I can't count. Transhumanism, transgender, trans female, trans male. They are trying to kill you. And I'm going to keep saying it. They are trying to kill you. Because if all y'all start liking the same sex, who going to reproduce? Y'all going to try to get it out of a machine, like a vending machine or something? I don't think that's God's way. It's not God's way. We got to do better, folk. The rest of the world is laughing at us. They're laughing at us. Think about that. Only thing you see on the news, not talking about inflation, not talking about child sex trafficking. They're not talking about the dead children on the southern border. They're not talking about the collapse of society. They're telling everything is hunky-dory. Sorry, just being honest. Hell, I was checking out Owen Schroyer. I was checking out his podcast, or better yet, his show, The War Room, and he said something deep. Better yet, not only did he say something pretty damn deep, you know, the Republicans, they got a video that they made for Californians and just people in general that just don't give a care about the southern border. California, Nevada, you know, it's ugly. But let's get an Orange Shore and maybe we just wind it down. Talk about something else later. Not tonight though. But check out Owen. Break it down.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Democrats in California do things that just totally defy all morals and logic. And this latest one may be the most egregious example. You'd think, you know, child sex trafficking. I mean, if pedophilia is up for debate amongst the Democrats, you ask yourself, well, where do you draw the line? How about child sex slavery and trafficking? Do you draw the line there? No, they're voting to protect child traffickers now in California. So we have that. But first, the Republicans put out this powerful ad, and it all ties in. Maybe this is why the Democrats in California are voting to protect child sex traffickers. Look at this latest ad from the GOP.
President Biden does not care about the fate of 300,000 plus unaccompanied children that have been placed with sponsors in the United States since he became president.
We're here today because the Biden administration has utterly failed. It has failed to secure the border, and it has encouraged parents to send their minor alien children on a dangerous trip to the United States unaccompanied. And it's failed to protect these children after they were let into the United States.
There's been a 357% increase regarding unaccompanied minors at our border. The policy choices of the Biden administration are creating an unending flow of children to this country.
It's a conveyor belt of children being forced through the system. And what's the priority of HHS? Just get them out as fast as we can. They go to factories, they go to slave labor. I've written to the FBI and asked the FBI, where are the 80,000 plus children this administration's lost? They don't know.
The New York Times illustrated that senior Biden administration officials like Secretary of Health and Human Services, Becerra, knew about this and continued to move children out of Health and Human Services as fast as possible by loosening vetting requirements for sponsors.
I have not received a response from the Secretary on what has happened to 85,000 children. The point is Secretary Becerra needs to come before us.
Every single person crossing the border now, if they want a good chance of surviving, have to pay a toll to the transnational criminal organizations. It was estimated that a year and a half ago, transnational criminal organizations were making $800 million a year in human trafficking.
You know, you can't help as a mama think about your own children. And if we, as leaders of the greatest nation in the world, are not fighting to protect the most vulnerable, we are not doing our job.
And let me be clear, even one child in the custody of human traffickers is horrific and wrong. But 127,000? This administration, no wonder Secretary Becerra is too scared to sit there. He should be embarrassed of that record.
This is obviously a family crossing right here. Pretty sad situation to think that we have laws that would protect us from this that are not being enforced.
HHS is responsible for them, and they can't find them. They don't know if they're dead or alive or trafficked or being worked.
Why on earth would you not try and take the safest path to get here legally? Why on earth wouldn't you stop at a safe third country and say, I have a difficult, dangerous situation in my country, I have documentation to prove it, and I'm applying for asylum? What's wrong with that?
We have incentivized the use of children in illegal immigration, and nothing will change until we change our policy.
How much more alarming
does it have to get that we would have the White House administration standing up here with us, announcing the policies to improve it and announcing that we have a closed border?
The kids are in danger. The kids are in slavery. The kids are being exploited. And it should not happen in the United States of America.
Why in the world we would allow drug cartels to become rich off of our most vulnerable is beyond me. It's disgusting and it must stop.
We need to do better than this. We must do better than this. We must show that we care about the fate of these children by doing our jobs.
See that? So my question is, where's Alejandro Ocasio-Cortez out of New York? Where's that chick at? Where's the photo op with you dressed in all white around none but dust and sand, crying and boo-hooing by a fence, by a gate, by a wall, whatever you want to call it? Where's Ocasio-Cortez at? You see that, guys? Shout out to Infowars.com. I have to admit, man, besides him and Tucker Carlson and Rumble.com, let me tell you, boy, woo. I got some Rumble for you. I'm going to show it to you later. But on a serious note, guys, go check the movie out. Sounds of Freedom. Go check it out today, tonight, tomorrow. This movie needs to go to number one, regardless if they don't want it to, regardless of them trying their best to block it and downplay it on TV. Y'all need to go see this. I guarantee you'll love your children more if you don't. And I'm going to say this before I let y'all go. So I'm scrolling through social media and I was going on Instagram. Now, it seems to be funny. It seems to be, parents love to do it. I'm not that guy. Sorry. But it's a song and you play it around your children and it says, F them kids. I'm not going to play that song. I'm not going to sit here and play that song around them. Even though it's, I guess, supposed to be funny, I'm not going to play no song like that. Y'all know what I'm talking about, called F them kids on Instagram, and some people put it on Facebook or whatever. I would never say nothing like that, even in a joke. Okay? He was better off saying bump them kids. But F, and then you want to play that song around your children just to get a laugh? Not me. Not me. Hell, my father, he didn't cuss around me. Matter of fact, my father didn't cuss at all. I kind of wish he just kind of rubbed off on me a little bit, but let me tell you something. I cuss like a sailor behind closed doors. As long as my kid's not around. You guys need to be the same way. Okay? And don't be recording yourself saying F them kids and your kids are right there. Okay? Don't do that. Okay? I'm just my opinion. Don't do that lame shit. Excuse me. Sorry. Don't do that lame crap. All right? I'm out. Guerrilla thinking, like always. I might come back out tomorrow, drop some knowledge on whatever I come up with. But until then, you can cash at me. Or whatever. So much news, man. Maybe we'll talk about Christopher Wray tomorrow. the jabber, the invisible enemy. They got some more stuff for you. They're trying to figure out how they're going to do this for Agenda 2030. Make you a slave. The cashless society. CBDCs. EGR, whatever you want to call it. They trying to make you a slave, bro. All right, guys. Thanks for coming out. Like, share, Cash App, whatever you like and subscribe, whatever. Thanks for coming out. I'll talk to you guys later.